Okay, this video is for those of you who are looking for homes with subject to an existing loan or assumable mortgages. I'm so sorry. Hold on. I am trying to go live on Instagram as well. I think we're good to go. So many of you are looking for subject to an existing loan as a property. And one of the way that you can find additional sources of those rather than going to wholesalers would be to look at property that are posted on MLS with a assumable mortgage status. Now, those individuals do want or do plan for somebody to take over their loan so they can get the loan from under their name. But from the standpoint of convincing them to go with the subject to an existing loan version of the process, maybe with the balloon within 2 to 3 years or whatever, is just a matter of a conversation, in my opinion. Alrighty, for those of you who are interested in this topic, I know it's a very specific type of subsection of home buyers, but here is the map of all properties that are listed as assumable mortgage and the owners are willing to let the buyer assume their mortgage. As you can see, there's quite a few. What I would do is maybe the easiest way for me to kind of break it down would be to go by price, because we can see exactly, so for example, from 100, I apologize for the terrain outside. So from 100 to 200,000 dollars. Now, many of them will be fixer-uppers. There is no question about it. Or if they will not be fixer-uppers, maybe they will be mobile homes, manufactured homes, etc. So we can see that we have Abilene, not sure, as the absolute leader from the standpoint of getting a whole cluster of those properties. Then we have a few small towns along the border with Oklahoma. We have just a couple of properties in the main areas, and then some on the east. So that was $100,000 to $200,000 price range. Now, the higher is the price range, of course, the more properties we're going to see. So for those of you looking for something in the $200,000 to $300,000, now that does not reflect their PT. That does not reflect their total monthly payments at this point. Their monthly payment might be very surprisingly low based on their, their APR, to be honest. Okay, so once we go to up to $300,000, we definitely see a much bigger cluster. We see Garland having a very significant cluster, Dallas and South Dallas having quite a few options, Arlington, Fort Worth, west of Fort Worth, Granbury. Let me see, where are our other clusters? So we definitely see a little bit of a cluster around Greenville, from McKinney to Greenville, this little cluster right here, and then we have a couple around Sheridan and Paris, toward Paris. So this is our $200,000 to $300,000 cluster. We definitely have options compared to the previous one. Now, if you're taking it over for the purpose of you purchasing your own residence, that's, one thing. If you're looking for properties that are going to be rentals, long-term rentals that need to cash flow, contact me, because I actually have a table of median rent prices for each zip code. So if you want to get a cash flowing property through the assumable loan / subject to option, we can look at where the values for the average rents are going to coincide with the current monthly payments for the sellers. 300 to 400. Let's see where clusters are right now. Of course, the higher we go in price, the more properties we see available. Now we're starting to see Forney and Mesquite come into play, Wiley and Rockwell, or Rolette, maybe in this case. We see quite a few around Crossroads, Krugerville, a couple of Little Elms. Now we're starting to see 380 come into play. And we even see a couple in Collin County. Now those are likely to be fixer-uppers, but still. Or they might not. They just might be smaller properties. We're seeing Anna, Melissa, Princeton, Fayette, Royce City, and then on the west side, the first time I see Irving and Carrollton pop up. We're seeing Grand Prairie, Duncanville, quite a few on, what is this road right here? So that I can see Chisholm Trail Parkway. So quite a few around Chisholm Trail Parkway on this one. Now those might be like toward new construction type of developments. Okay, we see a couple going west around the White Settlement. We see a few Saginaw, Watauga, even Collierville and Keller and North Richland Hills. And then we see some in Springtown and then in A zone. And if we go way up, then we definitely see quite a few clusters around Aubrey, Denton, as I mentioned, Anna, Gainesville. That's about it in Whitesboro. So as you can see, we do have a good number of options. If you can get those properties to cash flow, that's a different story with 300 to 400 price range. But again, their monthly payment, their PT might be lower than you would expect, and depending on what depending on their initial interest rate. So we go 400 to 500 just to see what we find. I'm predicting a lot more Collin County will come into play. Okay, Allen, Frisco, McKinney starting to pop up. We're seeing more Arlington. We're seeing closer to Denton. Probably more new construction homes, to be honest. And the interest rate on them might surprise you. If they were bought in 2021, 2022, you might see interest rate as low as 2.5% on some of them. Again, Melissa and Anna, if you want to go that direction. More or less. Forney's, DeSoto, Crowley. Actually fewer than I expected at that price range. And then just for educational purposes, let's go 500 to 700 to see where our distributions are. Okay. Yeah, we're starting to see Louisville, we're starting to see Grapevine and Euless and Keller. North Texas or North Dallas starting to come into play, including Carrollton. Quite a few around Prosper. And we have Frisco, even Frisco ISD potentially, Plano ISD. Okay, quite a few around the lake. Okay, so we have a Midlothian, Seagull 600. Wow, Seagull. Balch Springs 600, Terrell 600. So as you can see, the distribution is now away from the centers and toward more affluent areas. And then let's do 700 to 1 million just to see what's available, which areas pop up. For those of you who want to do higher end properties. Yeah, definitely toward Frisco and Prosper and Little Elm, and then towards Flower Mound and surrounding areas. As you can see, the higher the price range, the further we are from the south. So the south have very few, and the more clusters we see toward the north, where I typically see the money. I always said in DFW, the money flows north. The affluence flows north. Alrighty, that is one. Let me stop sharing this one because those were homes that had designation of assumable mortgage. Now, many of them, as I said before, will be very hesitant to let somebody take over the title without taking over the mortgage. But if they've been in the market for a while and they do need to move on and they cannot afford their monthly payments, they could potentially be worked on from a standpoint of the talk tracks about the balloons in a few years, improvement of their credit scores, etc. Now, I do want to show you another table. Actually, I'm just going to end this live stream and then do another live stream of off market. So these properties are on market property. They're listed in MLS. That's why we can see them. Let me do another live stream of off market properties that makes both seller financing and subject to and sometimes hybrid deals. But that would be the off market live stream. Okay, let me go ahead and then wrap up this live stream.